What is the secret to drawing a picture that you are proud of? Well, I'm not going to pretend that there's one right answer, but I can tell you this. It sure helps to brainstorm. Today I decided I'm going to draw some Pokemon because they're pretty fun to draw. There's a tree Pokemon called Sudowoodo, and I didn't think he had any evolutions. You know, there's like phase 1, evolves to phase 2, phase 3, that kind of stuff. Turns out this one does have a phase 1 that I didn't know about, but in this video, I'm going to create both a phase 1 and phase 3 Pokemon. Let's get to it. Okay, so for this project, I pulled out some watercolors, and I was excited to get back to some traditional media. I started with a sketch. This blue pencil here was key because it is very faint, very light, and it was able to help me lay down some sketches before I finalized what I actually wanted to draw. So I went through just a couple iterations with this small Sudowoodo, which I decided to make up a name for. After some discussion, I came up with a name, but I cannot remember, so let me look it up. His name is, and I quote, Sudowoodo. I mean, there's a real Pokemon that is like this, and his name is cooler. I think it's like Bonzo, which sounds like bonsai tree. I was gonna go with Sudowoodo or Sudowoodo because he's like a little seed, but he's actually more of a sapling, so that's Sudowoodo. To get him drawn out there, I just tried to take some elements from Sudowoodo, you know, like those 3 circles and the little lines in the wood I put around his head. I played around with giving him feet, but ended up just having leaves down there. You know, like Diglett doesn't have feet. Pokemon, there's no rules, so I decided not to go with the feet, although they could have worked probably. With this next evolution here on the right, I went through like 3 sketches before I drew the actual one, so you can see me erasing here a few times. So it was very handy to have this very light blue pencil so I could get some sketches down and not like them and be able to erase them. So this was the brainstorming that I was talking about in the introduction. It's good to brainstorm in your head to get some ideas going first, but I found it helpful to brainstorm on the paper. So I drew some pictures, decided I didn't like it, erased it, drew some more sketches. Of course, not taking a lot of time, just doing light sketches. And that helped me to settle into something that I liked. I kind of had an idea of making a big tree, you know, with foliage above. And I liked the idea of having him kind of have thick legs. I don't know, so kind of like the trunk goes out, you know. I had in mind another Pokemon that I couldn't remember what their name was, so I had to look it up, and after Googling it like 5 times, I finally came to the conclusion. I was thinking of Medicham. It's a pink fighting Pokemon, which is actually what I had to Google in the end to figure out who this Pokemon was that I couldn't remember. It's been so long since I've played or watched Pokemon, but I guess Pokemon Go. I play that sometimes, which is a fun game. And now that I'm on a derail, I used to play when I was little on the Game Boy Advance, Pokemon Ruby. So I don't know if any of you guys have played that game, but that was one of my favorites because it's one of the few that I played. But the Pokemon games on the handheld devices were quite fun. I did enjoy playing those. You get to just catch them all, you know? Gotta catch them all. And adventure. I like adventuring games, that's probably why. Anyway, I pulled out the watercolor, and this was exciting. I forget how much I like watercolors. It's fun to see the ink just spread onto the paper. You gotta start, of course, with a lot of water, some thin washes to get the highlights down first. At least that's what I find works best. And then go on top of that with less water, more, it's not ink, more paint, and build it up. More paint will make it darker. If you have more paint on the brush, less water, but you know that. The face features here, I try to keep them similar across all board. Going with this idea of maintaining certain elements of Sudowoodo in all of the creatures here so that they looked related, right? Having that little round, soft mouth, the little eyes, the color, of course, the circle green leaves, which, doesn't make sense. I guess they're leaves. But it's Pokemon, so creative liberties here. I had a lot of fun trying to just come up with this this idea, and then getting the color on there was so good. if you have traditional paints, especially watercolor, because I feel like watercolor are like mess-free. They're kind of easy to use. You don't have to, there's not the smell of oils, which, don't get me wrong, oils are great too. I've used them a little bit, but there's something that I really like about watercolors. They're just kind of neat, and so it was fun to do. I gave the feet kind of some claws. Maybe, you know, like the roots going into the ground, but they're actually just claws, just kind of semblance of that. I wanted his feet to kind of look like they, you know, were roots. I maybe could have done something else with that. Maybe could have made his feet more like octopusy, which I think was one of my sketches I tried out. Didn't love that, but I'm kind of happy. I like how it turned out, just these little feet down there. So here's the final result. I think it turned out pretty good. And by the way, I gave the big one a name too. Well, a couple names, but I decided I would stick with Sudowoodo. Well, I sure enjoyed doing this, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please remember to smile. Thank you for watching today. If you're interested, you can follow me on Instagram at fordrass.art to see all my creative works. Subscribe if you so desire, and have a good day. I'll see you next time.